Hello and good day everyone, I'm AL-FATEH and today I'd like to share my analysis of a memorable scene from the television series which is called The Office. Specifically from the episode titled Did I Stutter? While the show is best known for its humor and quirky characters, this particular scene reveals some serious issues that are surprisingly relevant to real-world office management. The scene centers around Michael Scott, the regional manager, who is running a typical office meeting. One of his employees, Stanley Hudson, is clearly disengaged. He's not paying attention, and his attitude shows he's not interested in being there. Michael, noticing this, decided to confront Stanley in front of the entire team. But instead of handling the situation professionally, he uses sarcasm and condescension. In response, Stanley delivers a sharp and now iconic line, "Did I stutter?" The entire office falls silent. It is awkward, it is tense, and the mood shifts instantly from light-hearted to uncomfortable. This moment, while written for comedic effect, highlight several very real issues in workplace leadership. The first and the most obvious one is poor communication. Rather than addressing Stanley's behavior respectfully or privately, Michael chooses a public confrontation. His use of sarcasm instead of sincerity undermines his role as a leader. In any professional setting, communication from a leadership must be clear, respectful, and constructive. Anything less than that can lead to embarrassment, resentment, and a breakdown of trust. The second issue is build-up employee frustration. Stanley's reaction doesn't just come out of nowhere. It's a result from a long-term dissatisfaction that's been overlooked. His outburst is a reflection of how unseen and unheard he's felt, likely for quite some time too. Unfortunately, Michael fails to recognize this. He seems more surprised by the outburst than concerned about what causes it. This is a reminder that when managers ignore early signs of disengagement or dissatisfaction, those issues can eventually explode in unexpected and damaging ways. Third, this scene shows a misuse of authority. Rather than de-escalating the situation or opening a dialogue, Michael reacts defensively and attempts to reassert control. He demands respect not by earning it, but by forcing it onto others. This approach doesn't build trust, it creates fear and division. True leadership is not about domination or control, it's about influence, support, and mutual respect. This leads into the next issue, which is lack of emotional intelligence. Throughout the scene, Michael demonstrates very little self-awareness or empathy. He doesn't try to understand why Stanley is upset. He doesn't reflect on his own action or how they may have contributed to the situation. Instead, he focuses on saving face. A leader with high emotional intelligence would recognize the emotional tone of the room, acknowledge the tension, and address the issue calmly and privately. Emotional intelligence is a core leadership skill, and without it, conflict resolution becomes nearly impossible. Lastly, the scene exposed micromanagement. Michael tries to control the flow of the meeting down to who is allowed to speak and how. This sends a clear message to the team. Their voice don't matter unless they align with his. When employees feels micromanaged or silenced, they shut down. They stop contributing, they stop caring, and eventually, like Stanley, they push back, they revolt. By the end of the scene, Michael pressures Stanley into a false apology. But the damage is already done. The root of the conflict remains unsolved and unresolved, and this offers one final insight in any workplace. Surface level fixes don't solve deeper problem. If real communication, trust, and empathy aren't present, conflicts will continue to repeat themselves. In conclusion, what started off as a comedic scenes ends up revealing some of the most common and damaging leadership flaws, which is poor communication, unacknowledged employee frustration, the misuse of authority, low emotional intelligence, and micromanagement. These issues may be fictional in the shows, but they're very real in many workplaces today. And unless they are addressed, they can lead to a toxic environment where employees feel undervalued and unheard. Good leadership requires more than a job title. It requires listening, empathy, and willingness to grow. That's the real takeaway from the scene, and it's one all of us can learn from. That's all from me. I hope you enjoy my analysis presentation. Thank you and goodbye.